Turn 3. I can't play ladder with this.
A few moments later.
If they don't mana burn me. Oh, even Guff crashes the game. Okay, I can't play ladder. Like, the game doesn't f***ing work.
Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we're almost a week removed from the latest patch that saw the Battlegrounds update added to the game, you know, pay-to-win monetization, but more importantly, this new feature added to the game where your Titan or choose one cards can freeze and crash the game, and the problem is still persisting. It's been almost a week, and it's just, to me, a completely unacceptable situation. We've heard some updates on it, but nothing of clarity of when it's going to get fixed, and why I feel like there should be a pretty big uproar about this, that people are literally losing like resources over this. It's just, to me, not acceptable, and I'm gonna harp on it until they fix their damn client. And as always, if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below, give the video a like, so we're on the road to 90,000 subscribers. So if you're not aware yet of what's going on in the game, basically there's a chance whenever you play a Titan card like the Primus, or say a choose one card of any variety, it can lock you out of your turn. People are calling it freezing the game. It actually isn't freezing the game. What I believe is happening, so you can see the screen here of me looking at, like, there's just, I can't do anything. What's happening is the Titan selection or the choose one selection you're supposed to hit just doesn't load up, but the game thinks it has. So you're supposed to click something, one of the options, but you actually can't see it. So you're locked out, right? Then the turn ends and it resumes as if you didn't choose something. And that's basically what's happening. It's a visual bug. The game itself isn't really freezing, but it locks you out unless you restart, get back in, and then you'll be able to get those options. It's really awful, and it's almost impossible with the game, the way the game works, to re-log in, so you usually lose your turn and almost always lose the game because it's Hearthstone. You lose a turn almost always unless you're facing Rope Warrior. You're basically going to lose, and it has led to a ton of frustration, tons of Reddit posts, but we have content creators speaking out, which in the Hearthstone scene, it feels rare. Even with the BG's pay-to-win update, I think I saw like 2 streamers like, including like one just being like, it's not that bad. It could be worse. Like, it feels like it's hard to get people to say stuff, but Clark tweeted this out. Hearthstone just doesn't function properly, and it's getting on my last nerve. And this tweet was from like 2 or 3 days ago, and it's still the same. All the crashes, the soft locks, the disconnections, cards bugging interactions constantly. This needs to be fixed immediately. These kind of problems coexisting with the heroic tavern brawl is ridiculous. And that's one of my main points I want to make. Right now we have this going on. The heroic brawl costs 1,000 gold to enter. That's half of a normal mini set. Probably not the StarCraft one, but, you know, a regular one where if you lose and lose every game, you get a pack. You get one pack, and then the rewards are good if you get to insanely high wins, but you could easily just lose a game to this bug, right? There is a workaround to the bug we'll talk about. We've already talked about it before, but that shouldn't be the onus of the player. That's just not an acceptable thing. Short term, sure, for like a day, maybe 2, okay, but we're at like a weak point. It's crazy. And Clark follows up by saying, I've been doing my variety gaming subathon for almost a week now, and almost every game function better than Hearthstone does now. It's refreshing to try these new games, but now when I come back to Hearthstone, seeing the crashes being so common makes me want to play less. So there's like a lot of complaints about like the Bazaar being a really buggy game. It's in beta. It's a new game. It's supposed to be buggy. It's what they're working out, right? Like, it's crazy to me. Baby Bear also tweeted this out. Half of my games this morning ended up in soft locks, and me trying to relaunch in time to finish my turn. I have a Hearthstone Twitch front page stream on Thursday. Not gonna be a great look. Why is this so bad right now? And Celestalon replied with the workaround, right? We've talked about that workaround where if you have a Titan, so a Titan like that, or choose one card, in your opening hand and you mulligan it away, you need to restart or else it'll freeze the game. However, it's actually a little bit worse than that, as I discovered in Wild. I'm going to dig up this tweet of, hey, by the way, Nova says hi. She hasn't appeared in a video in a while. She's around. She says hi. But regardless, Aquatic Form in Wild. This card, if you dredge and draw a card, you'll note in the intro I had, the same game crashed twice because Aquatic Form also triggers this. That I don't believe is in the known issues tab. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't see it. So even that, if you're a Wild player, Dredge can screw it, Glide can screw it. There's other things that do it that aren't even posted. But in Standard, yes, it is just the choose one and Titan cards. And I will say, Baby Bear kind of cooked Celestial on. So she said, and this is like coming from a creator who's aware of these issues, and a lot of players that have no idea, right? So I have to relaunch my game every time I mulligan one of these cards. That's not going to make the streaming experience much better, I'm afraid. Celestial responds, I'd expect the relaunching at the most convenient point is better than the middle of your turn and losing your turn. I could be wrong. And Baby Bear claps back, I'd expect a functioning client, but I could be wrong. And then you see the dev frustration. So would I, because to me, again, it feels like they're extremely shorthanded. I know for a fact devs are working around the clock trying to get this fixed, but there's only so many resources when higher ups have laid off so many people. There's not enough there. It just looks so bad. It's costing people golden stuff, right? They should have postponed or suspended the Heroic Brawl. While a game-breaking bug is going on, they should have suspended it, because if you look at the cards, look at Titans. The percentage of decks, like 21% of decks alone contain Yogg, a Titan. So it's going to crash the game a lot of the times with that if you're not aware of it, or you just forget, you mulligan away. Believe me, I've just forgotten and gotten screwed by that. Eonar 12%, Golganath at 12%. They're very popular cards in Standard and Wild. Like, that's just something, you can't ban them. I think Flair asked, why not ban the cards? There's too many. They're too popular. You can't do that. And choose one card's not nearly as popular, but they see play. It's something to consider. And in Wild, they're a heck of a lot better. And I wanted to play Valley Druid. I kept losing to freezes, or not freezes, the game soft locking. It became pretty frustrating. So the fact it's been almost a week, we haven't gotten any fix, and there's no in-game communication. So I put this out of, how has Hearthstone been around for over 10 years? 10 years. And we don't have an in-games news box. Nothing, right? We get the odd pop-up to tell us to buy bundles, or the link to like a Battlegrounds update in the Battlegrounds thing. Sure would be helpful to communicate things like a massive bug like the choose one and Titan cards crashing the game for almost a week now, or they could fix the client. That would be great. Ben Hearthstone, of course, coming in with the mailbox you can find in Mercs that kind of had little updates. Like, it was possible, but they didn't do it for the regular game. And this was also kind of further asked by Ben Hearthstone himself, saying the known issues thing, the workaround, it should be an in-game message, which left with Deck Tech. He's on the social team replying, in-game messages aren't good for dynamic situations because we can't update them as we figure stuff out. That's why we use the forums for the known issues. How many of you guys, I'm very curious, use the Blizzard forums, know about the known issues tab, look for it for resources, or do you just hear about it in my videos or on Twitter? Like, I feel like almost nobody, even when I look for it, I usually struggle to find it, which we'll talk about in a second. That's why we use the forums for the known issues. In this case, this has got updated 3 times in 3 days. Also, the solution is a thing people would naturally do anyways. The solution to when it freezes, sure, but not to preemptively avoid it, which nobody would think that, right? Nobody would naturally think, I mulligan my Titan away, I mulligan and choose one card away, that my game's gonna soft lock. So there's some truth to it, but I feel like he's almost missing the greater point. I did reply to this and I got a nice reply from Nick. I said, then post a button, have a button in the game itself, right? That links to the known issues tab, right? I was even looking in the client itself. Like, why not just have, like right here, right by the collection, there's a spot that just says like, miscellaneous help or known issues. You can just click that and the website will open on your desktop or on your phone, and they don't have to update anything other than the link to that known issues tab, right? I feel like that would be a good solution if you can't do an updated news tab. And Dex said asking for a new in-client UI is always a big ask, but I do like that idea and agree some in-client source would be great. And as for where to find it now, the latest one has always been. So you can tell, I've talked to them before. They would love this stuff, but they need the resources. They need, you know, to be able to allocate time to it. And people rather allocate time to reskinning Ragnaros rather than fixing the game or communicating the game, right? So yeah, that's where we're at. Still no update. As soon as a patch or something goes live, well, I'll let you know as soon as I can. But as it stands, it's been almost a week where we have a game-breaking, soft-locking bug that has the dumbest workaround, or in Wild, just, I guess, don't play Aquatic Form, because you play it and you draw the card, you gotta restart right away. There's just a way around it. Yeah, it's just something you gotta consider, and I feel like that's something you shouldn't have to consider. You shouldn't have to know about. It should be fixed in a appropriate time, which would be like a day, maybe 2, not like 6 days. That's crazy, especially when you have a scam going on and then people get double scammed by getting their game frozen. Anyways, let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. I just gotta get that rant out there. I think it's unacceptable. I don't think it's okay. And let's hope it gets fixed sooner than later. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.